Hello, my name is Ryan Meredith, and I watched Valkyrie for this project. I thought that Valkyrie was a great movie to watch. Once I heard that it was about a failed assassination of Hitler, I was intrigued. Only halfway through the movie did I realize that I had seen it already. I was surprised once I did the research to find out that this film was very accurately tells one of the many failed assassinations of Hitler. This film's style and cinematography helped to make the movie much more interesting. The use of shadows was important in helping the movie send a deeper message. An example of this is when Stauffenberg takes his family into the bunker. His face is in the shadows as they are waiting for the bombing to cease. They most likely hide his face because this is a scene where Stauffenberg figures out the plot to assassinate Hitler. The song Valkyrie is playing on an old record player in his house, and he realizes that he needs to use Hitler's Valkyrie's war strategy against him. The shadows just help to show how dark and risky his decision to assassinate Hitler is. Another example of the use of shadows was when Stauffenberg was discussing how the new Valkyrie will be written. His face is left in the shadows. This helped to again show how dark and risky his decision was. The movie also uses music to help dramatize scenes. For example, when they're in the briefing, there is intense music that helps to add tension into the scene because the viewer knows that at any moment the bomb could go off. I feel like in moments like these, the viewer grows a sense of optimism in the fact that they might actually succeed in the assassination of Hitler. The movie also uses minimal amounts of color, which surprises me. Red was used more than any color, most likely because of Hitler, which I think helped the story. Much of the effort of the film, however, was put into getting the story historically accurate, so some of the intense film making was lost. A lot of the suspense was taken out in order to make it seem more historically accurate. They could have left some details out that would have made it a little more interesting, but still at the same time accurate. Also, they made the decisions of the traitor seem easy and nonchalant. The movie failed to capture the severity of their actions. Whenever they tried to bring in another member into the plot to kill Hitler, it seemed like it wasn't a very risky thing to do. I thought that it seemed like what they were doing was too easy, that it just didn't seem like they were taking a huge risk, the way they were acting and the way it was so easy for them to persuade people to join their side. Also, the uniforms were very detailed and historically accurate, even down to some of the smallest pins that they were using. The main characters, like Stauffenberg and Ulbricht, were picked out by age to match the descriptions of the real people. These examples show how the director put so much accuracy and effort into getting the film historically accurate, even to the smallest details. As far as the casting goes, I felt that Tom Cruise did a great job. There was a lot of criticism on his performance, but mostly because of his previous films. The critics stereotyped him just because of what they thought it would be like. Most of them didn't even see the actual film. He was able to capture the stern attitude of a general who lost a lot fighting for his country. With 3 fingers and 1 eye, he actually played the part pretty well. Plus, he kind of looks like Stauffenberg, so that just helped to add accuracy to the film. It also followed along with other World War II movies in the fact that there were very few feminine roles. Stauffenberg's wife is one of them, and she disappears early in the film so that she can be safe if the assassination fails. And she actually only has a couple lines. Also, Stauffenberg's secretary, towards the end of the movie, she only has a few lines, but she doesn't really do much for the overall film. They rely solely on males for this movie, mostly because women weren't around at all in the military during these times. Also, I felt like the man that played Hitler, David Bomber, looked exactly like Hitler, which was pretty awesome that they could find someone who looked like him and somewhat acted like him, being reserved and controlling. So that is some of the cinematography and casting that I found in this film and liked. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who likes or is interested in assassination plots on Hitler. I enjoyed how it showed how the Jews weren't the only ones who were upset with what was going on in Germany. It showed generals with even some of the highest power that you can earn in Germany were upset with what Hitler was doing, and their morals kicked in enough to try and make a difference so that the rest of the world could see that it wasn't just the Jews that were upset with what he was doing.